Hey people, D-Man here, and today I'm reviewing Rick and Morty Season 4, Episode 9. Second last episode next week should be the season finale, and I can't wait for that. um, this episode was pretty good. By the way, spoiler alert, just in case you haven't watched it yet. Go watch it, then come back. So this episode was pretty good. And it's all about like parenting and camping and killing gods and fucking planets. There has a giant planet there that's alive. It's a sentient planet. I think it's. It kind of reminds me like of. I think his name is Mogo or something like that, off of Marvel. It was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. It's a little Easter egg, I guess. But yeah, basically Rick fucks the planet and it gives birth to his children. And Jerry wants to take a camping trip, yet they're not taking a camping trip. Well, Jerry is, I guess. But yeah, Beth and Rick go to raise his children that turns out to be like Zeus's children, I guess, or like a sort of goddish children, I guess. And then it all kind of happens at the end, and there's like three plot lines. Um, let's talk about the first one, Rick and Morty. Rick and Beth. So Rick and Beth go to this planet to raise Rick's children. Turns out not to be his children, but he basically raises them. He gives them a society. He gives them all these things, and he throws out the useful ones, the useless ones, I should say, which is really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's really fucked up that he's doing that, but he's doing that anyways. So kind of like a regular society, I guess. And I think they're probably trying to like put some commentary on that sort of thing. But yeah, he's like throwing away the useless ones and he's keeping the more productive ones, and Beth is helping him, and she's still having a complex that I didn't think she had as much anymore because of season 3. But she's still having that complex where she's like, "Ooh, my daddy is saying I'm awesome. Ooh, yay!" And at the end, she kind of redeems herself a little bit. But this whole thing, she kind of went back down to here because she's just like, "Ooh, I want my dad to think I'm awesome. Woo!" It's kind of stupid. At first, it seems like she was doing it for good reason. She's like, "You're not abandoning him like you abandoned me, you fucking asshole." But then she's just like, "Ooh, we're doing stuff together, yay!" And Jerry even points it out. He's just like, "Hey, Beth, like you abandoned your family to stay with your fucking cunt of a father, uh, who fucking abandoned you pretty much." And now you're like, "Ooh, like I want to spend time with him, and we're gonna be awesome and stuff like that." Pretty fucked up. Um, so yeah, that was kind of a regression for her character. And then we have Jerry. Basically everybody's just bombing on him, even his own kids, really harshly too, almost making him cry. And then he finds the useless children, and he kind of takes them and makes them build camps and stuff, and basically makes a primitive society, very primitive society. And it's interesting to see that. It's interesting and nice, I guess, to see that he's actually useful for once. And then at the end, he kind of like says like, "Well, I'm just trying to help these people that you call useless," sort of thing, which kind of seems like a dig on society a little bit there, because most societies do that to a lot of people. It's pretty fucked up. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I like that part. um, but yeah, so he goes there and Zeus or whatever you would call him gives him power, and then Zeus gives Jerry power, and then Rick gives Beth power with science, obviously, and then they kind of fight each other, and at the end he ends up saving Beth. It's pretty cool, pretty funny. Um, and Rick ends up fighting the god, and that's when Rick and Summer come in because Rick and Summer, I mean, not Rick and Summer, what am I talking about? Morty and Summer come in because basically they ditched their dad, walked through the woods for a few days, and were just lost. And at the end, they found, um, they found this spaceship, and they tried to get high, or Summer tried to get high, and Morty thought it was a video game. Really stupid. And then Rick finds them, and he's just like, "Oh my goodness, this is like this is awesome. I'll never sell you out or anything." He's lying, obviously. And he basically takes them back home, which is pretty funny. So Summer gets really high off of engine fluid, I think it was called, and then barfs into Maury's mouth after they take off because they spin around really fast, and he gets high too, which is really gross. Um, and then they crash into Zeus's head and kill him. And that's pretty funny. And then Rick saves him and is like, I'll never ditch you guys again. And then he gives the spaceship to his children that aren't really his children, probably at least. And then he's just like, well, listen, if your mom ever starts doing shit, just leave on this ship. And then they leave, and they're like, don't you think she might try to train them to kill us? And he's just like, oh yeah, that's why I put a bomb in the ship. If they ever come close, I'm going to kill them all. So all in all, pretty good episode. Not the best episode this season, but not the worst. It was a pretty good episode. It had 3 plot lines, something that you're not usually seeing in these episodes, which is pretty interesting. And they were all fairly entertaining, to me at least. And yeah, it's pretty good. And Rick, he watches some kinky ass porn. That's all I gotta say. Or some kinky ass dating websites, I guess. But yeah, pretty interesting. Not the best episode, not the worst episode. Just an interesting episode. Anyways, I hope you liked this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. Best way to keep my channel. Link down below on my Twitter. And remember, my friends, stay sane. Peace. Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look. Look over here, buddy. Look over here.